Hello fellow trainers, Ace the Inadequate here, and this is episode 2 of the Heroes and Villains tournament, a Monotype Team versus Team style tournament with one side being heroes whilst the opposing side being villains. Last episode we covered the Shiny versus Ace and Jester versus Scar fights, with the heroes taking a back-to-back victory with 2 points in the lead. Now can the villains recover from this? We'll see, starting with our next match with Jester representing the heroes and Shiny representing the villains. Now let's begin the set with Jester versus Shiny. Jester sends in Pelipper, while Shiny sends in Ninetales, as Pelipper is slower. Oh wait, the Ninetales doesn't have Snow Warning. Aurora sets up Snow Warning. Huh. Unexpected. Corviknight comes in with a hefty body press to quad weak Aurorus, as it sets up a Meteor Beam, boosting special attack of course. Body Press obviously kills this turn, as Aurorus goes down. Now, David here sends in a Titan, doing a belly drum, getting it to max attack, and healing with a Citrus Berry. Now, Corviknight here sets up an Iron Defense, as Titan knocks off its Rocky Helmet. Now, Corviknight sets up another Iron Defense, as Snow stops, bringing Slush Rush to a halt. Corviknight heals up with Roost, and David uses Earthquake, not affecting Corviknight at all, probably hoping for Roost to activate. Ninetales comes in, and Okos to Body Press with max defense Corviknight. Can David recover from this? Darmanitan comes in with the Fire Terra and brings Corviknight to the 40%, but it's not enough as Corviknight sends in another Body Press, Okoing Darmanitan. Frostmoth comes in, targeting Corviknight's weak special defense, but Corviknight survives on 7%, Okoing Frostmoth. Corviknight is a beast on the field, as Mamoswine can come in with a Rock Slide, finally finishing the Wretched Crow. Hawlucha comes in, and Shiny switches to Titan, as Hawlucha activates Unburden with the White Herb. Titan goes down, meaning Mamoswine is Shiny's last Pokemon, and Jester can get a clean close combat in, winning her the game 1-0. Let's begin our second set with David sending out Aurorus and Jester sending out Pelipper. Pelipper sets up the rain, but Aurorus gets the snow in. Pelipper goes for a risky Hydro Pump, but it misses. Aurorus gets to set up Aurora Veil. This is beginning to feel like a very bad turn for Jester as she sends in Gliscor, and Aurorus sets up a Meteor Beam. Gliscor gets a safe Toxic in for itself and protects against Aurorus' Meteor Beam. Gliscor tears to water here and gets Toxic on Aurorus, chipping it down as Aurora sends in a Blizzard, which gets Gliscor on the yellow. Now Gliscor heals a bit with Poison Heal as Aurorus takes a little bit of chip from Toxic, and David sends in his Mamoswine as Gliscor heals up with Roost. Now Mamoswine uses Trailblaze to chip Gliscor and boosts its speed as Gliscor gets in a Toxic on Mamoswine. Can Shiny fight out the stall? Let's see, as Gliscor protects against Mamoswine's Trailblaze. Now I'll have to speed up the footage here as this is just a stall fight between Mamoswine and Gliscor, as Mamoswine gets chipped turn after turn by Toxic and Earthquakes coming from Gliscor. Mamoswine falls here, and Gliscor is the victor of this stall fight. Now Shiny sends in is Alolan Ninetales, and on-course Gliscor into Protect. Now Shiny switches to Aurorus, setting up the snow, as Jester switches to Corviknight. Corviknight deals massive damage to Aurorus using Body Press, as Aurora sends in a Blizzard onto Corviknight. Corviknight sends in another Body Press on Aurorus, knocking it out, as David sends in his Galarian Darmanitan to deal with Corviknight. Now Jester predicts this and sends in Pelipper to set up Rain, which weakens Darmanitan's Fire-type moves as Darmanitan uses a weakened Flare Blitz on a resisted Pelipper. Now to get out of danger, Shiny switches out Darmanitan for Frostmoth as Frostmoth eats a Hurricane to the face and it confuses. Safe to say Shiny is losing his grip here as Frostmoth gets swept away by a Hurricane. Now Shiny sends in Titan here as it eats a Hurricane from Jester and heals up with a Citrus Berry. So Titan uses Belly Drum, getting it to max attack. This could change the tides of battle, as one Ice Shard KOs Pelipper. Now Jester responds by sending in her Corviknight, as it gets knocked off and gets knocked out by Titan's max attack knockoff. The Aerodactyl can come in here, and Ice Shard almost one-hits KOs, but Aerodactyl has a Sash, and Rock Slide misses! Could this be it for Jester? Aerodactyl goes down. And it's all on Celesteela, as the Titan uses a max attack Ice Shard, landing Celesteela in the yellow. Celesteela then uses Power Herb Meteor Beam, getting the KO immediately and boosting special attack. Shiny sends in Darmanitan, and Icicle crashes, revenge killing Celesteela, and now it is a 2-on-2 match. Could Shiny pull this off? Shiny chip damages Gliscor with an Icicle crash, but Gliscor responds by giving it Toxic. Oh, could this be the end for David? Let's see. Ninetales eats an Earthquake, landing it on the yellow. And Ninetales sends in a Moonblast to chip away Gliscor and landing it on 57%, as Gliscor finally KOs Ninetales with an Earthquake. It's all on Darmanitan, as Jester keeps using Protect, stalling it out. Can Darmanitan put this game on even arms? We'll see, as Darmanitan uses Flare Blitz on Gliscor, but it's just not enough. From one final Earthquake from Jester, she wins the game, 2-0. Hey, if you're liking the content so far, consider subscribing. Even though it can be really exhausting making videos like this, I really love doing it. My goal currently is to reach 1,000 subscribers before 2026. And with that, we can move on to our next match, starting with Cross representing the heroes and Rohca representing the villains. Now let's begin our first set here with Cross sending out his Chansey and Rohca sending in her Magnezone. Chansey sets up Stealth Rocks immediately on the field as Magnezone substitutes for protection. Chansey then uses Seismic Toss, dealing with Substitute as Magnezone goes for Curse, boosting attack and defense whilst lowering its speed. Now Chansey then sends in another Seismic Toss, but this does not phase Magnezone as it keeps setting up with Curse. Magnezone heals up a bit with leftovers as Chansey does not change the plan, using Seismic Toss again, as Magnezone deals massive damage to Chansey, getting it on 13%. Now Chansey returns the favor, getting Magnezone on the red as well, as Chansey goes down to another body press by Magnezone. Porygon Z gets sent out to deal with Magnezone as it Shadow Sneaks, getting it to 1% of its health, as a Gyro Ball gets Porygon Z to 1, revealing that it was a Zoroark. Zoroark just almost gets the KO in as Magnezone delivers with another Gyro Ball, knocking it out. Cross then proceeds to send out the GOAT himself, Diggersby, as it normal terras, delivering a swift quick attack, knocking Magnezone out. Pincurchin sets up Electric Terrain, as Diggersby deals massive damage with quick attack, but Pincurchin survives, lowering Diggersby's attack by 2 stages with Memento. Rohca sends in her Pawmot as Diggersby to reset the attack drop, sends in Pyroar, as Pawmot gets no value with Fake Out. Pyroar then deals massive damage to Pawmot, OHKOing it with a single Hyper Voice. Alolan Raichu gets sent out here and tries to predict a switch-in to a ground type, but same Yender has different ideas as it picks up another KO with Hyper Voice. Now Regieleki gets sent out here and becomes a liquid, changing its typing to water and dealing super effective damage with Terra Blast, knocking out Pyroar. Now unfortunately Porygon Z suffers the same fate as Terra Blast crits, knocking it out. Now even though both sides have 2 Pokemon remaining, we can't forget the GOAT himself, Diggersby, here to finish up the game. Kilowattrel Sash gets broken by rocks as Diggersby comes in with a final quick attack, letting Cross win the set, 1-0. Alright, with our second set here, Cross sends out Chansey, and Rohca sends out her Pawmot. Rohca then stalls out with a Fake Out here, flinching Chansey on the first turn, and goes for close combat, KOing it. It's been a clean turn for Rohca so far. Let's see how Cross recovers from this, as he sends out Diggersby. Pincurchin comes out, sending up Electric Terrain again, and Diggersby Terra Normals into Quick Attack, dealing massive damage to Pincurchin. Another quick attack does the job, and Pincurchin is knocked out. Now, Rohca sends in her Kilowattrel and takes massive damage, getting it on Sash with Quick Attack, as Kilowattrel then endeavors. Rohca then returns the favor with a Quick Attack to Diggersby. Now, Cross sends in his Pyroar, as Rohca sends in her Magnezone, and Magnezone takes Chip from Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice high rolls here, and Magnezone Ulcos with a Body Press. Now it's beginning to look like a game for Rohca here, as Porygon Z gets sent out and uses Z conversion, boosting all its stats, turning itself into a Ghost type as Magnezone substitutes for protection. Now Porygon Z sends in a Shadow Ball, breaking substitute as Magnezone Gyro Balls for Chip, but it's just not enough as Porygon Z has the upper hand with Shadow Ball again to knock out Magnezone. Regieleki can come in here, and one Thunderbolt clears Porygon Z. Now Cross sends in here his Blood Moon Ursaluna as Rohca switches out into Kilowattrel, and despite Ursaluna being a special attacker, it seems to be running a physical set using Shadow Sneak of all things. Pawmot comes out here and Terra steals as Ursaluna delivers a Poltergeist as it Okos Pawmot, knocking it out. Could this be Cross's ace up his sleeve as Rohca sends in Regieleki, bringing Ursaluna to Sash, revealing that it was actually a Zoroark? Folks, we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived. Cross manages to clutch the game, fooling his competition, winning him the set 2-0.
Thanks for all the support. I've had some concerns asking if I have enough to eat and stuff, and if I'm well supplied. So I just wanted to assure everybody, yes, I'm totally safe. I've got a lot to do. For food, I've got these napkins. I've actually got 1 napkin, 2 napkin, 3 napkin. There might be more in there.